Hi, this is Dr. Saeed Akhlaqpour. I was asked about using longitude and latitudes in geospatial mapping. This is actually one of my former MBA students who asked me, so it is reassuring to know that people are actually using geospatial mapping in their actual work. So that's nice. I will be talking about three different approaches for getting longitude and latitudes here. The first way is to simply go to Google Maps and basically search for what you are looking for. So let's say I'm looking for Mater Hospital or Mater Mother's Hospital, right? So it shows me Mater Mother Hospital. I can get longitude and latitudes from Google Map by clicking on any place except, so make sure that the cursor is not the hand figure, it is the arrow cursor, right? So anywhere that is an arrow you can click, yeah, so you need to click strongly, and it will show you the longitude and latitude here, right? So you can simply select longitude and latitude, copy it, and then you can create, let's say, an Excel file and paste it into Excel, right? So let's see. If I paste it here, what happens? Alright, so it's better to make two different cells. So I basically cut this one and paste it here. Paste. So this is my latitude. Remember, in Australia, latitudes are always negative, and this is my longitude. You can cut it whatever you want, the full latitude, longitude, and the name of the place is basically Mater Mother's Hospital, right? So maybe I can just copy and paste from here. So the name is Mater Mother Hospital. So, and then you can complete this table by adding other addresses with the latitudes and longitudes, and then you can upload it into Carto, and Carto will perfectly recognize these longitude and latitudes and georeference it, right? So that's the first approach, just to click on any point on the map, and you can see the latitude and longitude down there, right? So that's approach number one. The second approach, if you have a list of different places that you want to get the longitude and latitudes for, it is a good idea to go to Google My Maps. So it is different from Google Maps. It's called My Maps. So just click on search for My Maps, and the first link would be Google My Maps. And within Google My Maps, you can create a new map, and basically you can search for anything that you want. So let's search for hospitals in Brisbane. Right, hospitals in Brisbane. So it shows me a list of hospitals in Brisbane. If I zoom in, so these are the list of hospitals in Brisbane that was found by my map search. Just one point, it does not always provide the complete list. So again, make sure your data is complete. Make sure it is not missing any hospital or whatever you search for, right? So so let's for now add these ones, and I'll tell you what I mean. So I simply click on this plus sign here, and it will be added to my map, right? So just add all of them to a map, so basically to a layer. So they were all added to this layer. And so as I told you, it might not identify it comprehensively, so you might need to add more basically manually. So for example, this Green Slopes Private Hospital, it was not in this list, right? So I can simply either search for it, or I can click on it and add to map, right? So I could search for, yeah, you get the idea. I can search it here as well, right? So Green Slopes Private Hospital, it will be shown here, right? And then I can click on add to map, and this will be added as another hospital in this list. So you can go on and add more hospitals, right? Alright, so when you have completed your list, you can simply click on this link here and choose export to KML. Right, so KML is a file format that it's actually an XML format with geospatial geographical data, right? And it will be recognizable by Carto as well. So Google exports to KML. You simply export either entire map, or you can select one specific layer. Doesn't matter really, because we only have one layer. Export to KML and download. Right, so that would be my layer. I can call it hospitals. So now I have this KML. You don't have to, but if you want, you can look into inside the file with any editor, and as you see there will be actually longitude and latitudes within this XML file. But you don't have to really. It's I mean, you can supply the same file into Carto. So let's do that. So let's go to Carto. As you remember, I have to go to datasets, and I want to upload a new dataset. I browse, and instead of an Excel file, I can upload a KML file. It will be recognized by Carto. So let's click on this one and connect dataset. So as you see, this is the name of the hospitals that we just searched in Google My Maps, and these are the longitude and latitude. So it is very neat, very clean. No more cleansing is needed, and simply you can click on create a map. And you remember the next steps, right? So if I click on this one, does it show at the moment? No. So let's georeference it. So I click on analysis, I click on add analysis, you click on georeference. You are familiar with these steps already. Well, it actually did already identify them, but what doesn't matter. Let's do one georeferencing just to remember. So this time, instead of street addresses or cities, etc., we choose longitude and latitudes. Oh no, actually, no, forget about it, because because the data already contains longitude and latitudes, and they are not in different columns. Let's just not georeference this data. Okay. Because it's an KML file, so it is already recognized by Carto, so we cannot really georeference a KML file once again. So that's it. You can still work with the styles. You remember we were able to change the size of these circles, the colors of these circles. So you can do whatever you want with your Carto file. You can add the labels. So if I want to show the names of these hospitals, I can simply select the proper column, which was name in my file, and it shows me the name of these hospitals on a map. And you can change the font, the color, etc. I won't go through these steps. So that was it. That was relatively simple. One more way to basically find longitude and latitudes is if you have street addresses, you can basically transform addresses into longitude and latitudes. You can search Google for things like convert street address to longitude and latitudes in a batch format, right? So Batch Geocode is a website that actually does it excellently, but unfortunately it is temporarily offline, so it doesn't work at the moment, but it is very strong and works perfectly. Perhaps you can explore yourself and find which of the other websites would do the work for you. one website that I found quite useful was mapify.io, and you can basically register, sign up, and you can essentially upload your street addresses. I think by clicking here it takes me to the page. You can upload your street addresses and it will give you a list of longitude and latitudes for each address. I just leave it to you to explore this mapify.io website if you need to geocode a number of street addresses. But if the number is small, so this way you can upload your addresses here, basically paste your addresses here, and it will give you the longitude and latitudes. But if your list is small, you can simply, as I said, use My Maps or do it manually with Google Maps and create an Excel file like this yourself. So I hope it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to